Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to the Coffee Club, broadcasting live from New York with your host, Felix, and co-host, Dr. Mark. So let's have a cup of coffee and enjoy the show.
There is no heaven. There is no hell.
Live from New York, it's the Coffee Club with your host Felix and your co-host
Me.
Hello, Dr. Me. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody doing good? Good. Nice to hear that. Whatever. All right. Let's see. Dr. Mark. Can the audience reach us?
I don't know. If they call 646-595-3275, they'll get one of us. But, I got to tell you something, Felix.
Yes, Doc.
You're fired.
All right. Bahamas, here I come.
On your money, folks. On your dime. Yes, we have a president who still thinks he's running the Apprentice, firing Preet Baharra, who used to be the Attorney General of the Southeast section of United States.
Was that the woman?
He was investigating.
Was that a her or him?
It's a him. He was I said he. He was investigating any connection between the Trump campaign and Russia. You have Sally Yates, who warned about Michael Flynn, and they didn't like what she had to say, and she was fired. Of course, we have Michael Flynn, who was never registered as a foreign,
operative
on the payroll of both Turkey and Russia.
Turkey, not Russia.
Well, he got money from Russia, so the bottom line is he was fired. And now James Comey.
For good reason. It's about time.
Oh, I don't know. I think...
Well, if it's not for good reason, it's about time anyway.
Well...
He did a lot of wrong things, and the Democrats, up to the day before he was fired, were asking him for his resignation. But after he got fired, they said, "Oh, he should have never left the government." So everybody's playing the same game. Nothing has changed. It's as if the elections are still on.
Until we get these things settled, it seems like we'll always be discussing something.
They'll never be settled because there'll always be somebody looking for something that doesn't exist. And I'm talking about on both sides. People are just, all they do is, when you listen to all the news broadcasts now, they say, supposedly Mr. Trump said this, supposedly Schuster said this. Well, supposedly means nobody knows if they actually said it. Supposedly.
No, there are a lot of different sources, and you don't know which one is,
No, they said supposedly somebody said it. They didn't say who. And that's what, if you listen carefully, almost all of them say supposedly Mr. Trump.
Yeah, well, now you sound like Trump because he said.
I said the Democrats.
He said months ago, unless you name a specific source.
I didn't say that. I said they're saying supposedly the Republicans and the Democrats.
And who supposedly said it? Nobody.
They're not telling you. They're just saying supposedly.
And you're not listening. I said Trump said that a few months ago. He said...
I'm not talking about where they're not disclosing their sources, Doctor. I'm not talking about that at all.
And what Trump said was he won't believe anything unless a name is attached to it.
And what did I just said? I wasn't talking about that.
Well,
did I say that before you started telling me that?
I don't know. We're having a failure to communicate here.
I said we were not talking about anything about, if who's disclosing it, and you can't give away your sources. I didn't say that. All I said, they're just saying supposedly. They're not saying supposedly sources. They're not saying supposedly unnamed sources. They're saying sources, which to me is a big question mark as to who are the sources. They're not even saying, oh, we have some sources from the government, or we have some whatever. They're just saying sources with nothing else. And it's done all the time if you listen. They'll say, sources tell me that Mr. Trump...
Well, Trump himself said he asked Comey if he was being investigated.
Yeah.
Comey told him, don't ask me that question. I can't give you an answer. Now,
how do you know that? Because Trump says he told him no.
What?
Trump told him, he said flat out no, that he's not being investigated.
Trump said it. Trump said to whom?
That Comey said that he's not being investigated, flat out.
As long as the Trump campaign is being investigated, which it is, by the FBI, the Trump campaign is associated with Trump. So until they finalize and get proof that Trump had absolutely nothing to do with any collusion, they can't say for sure that Trump had nothing to do with it.
But they say that Comey told him that.
And Trump is interpreting it by saying, I had nothing to do with it. Trump is interpreting it the way he wants to, okay, like he does everything else.
It solves everybody else.
And he's running.
It doesn't change.
And he's running this country the way he ran his business. And he sounds more and more, if you read history, like Huey Long from Tennessee. Okay? Huey Long was a demagogue, and Trump is a demagogue. All right? Nobody in the administration or in the Republican Party has the balls to tell Trump that he has no clothes on, like the emperor. Okay? He's out there naked for everybody to see. I'm sorry.
Well, I understand his son-in-law and his daughter talk to him quite often.
That doesn't mean anything. They have never said anything about what's gone on in the last week to week and a half.
Well, maybe because it was false news.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Everything that we hear now is he said, she said, nothing else. The Republicans are doing it to the Democrats. The Democrats are doing it to the Republicans.
I thought I gave you more credit than that, Felix. I don't know.
What did I just tell you? I'm blaming it on both sides.
You sound more and more like his base, who will stick with him, the same 36 or 37%.
I'm telling you that it's being done on both sides. The Republicans are just as bad as the Democrats. The Republicans only hear what they want to hear. The Democrats only hear what they want to hear.
Well, but you heard just now, Sean Spicer, they quoted...
I didn't hear anything.
Well, they quoted Trump as calling this whole thing a witch hunt, and basically it's bullshit, although he didn't say bullshit. All right? Now, what the reporter wanted to know is, how can you discuss things and smooth things over when you're saying that the FBI is conducting a witch hunt? Because that's what he said.
Did he say it was the FBI?
Yeah. Comey represented the FBI.
Did he say it was the FBI that was conducting the witch hunt, or the Democrats?
Had nothing to do with the Democrats, no. And like we said before, FBI, CIA, NSA, they all take loyalty oaths to the country, not to the president. To Trump, loyalty to the country means loyalty to him. And if you're not going to swear loyalty to him, that's like being a traitor. All right? He asked Comey to swear loyalty to him, and he says, I'll give you my honest assessment of things, and I swear my loyalty to the country. but I'm not going to swear loyalty to you.
You heard Comey say that?
That's what they quoted him as saying.
Oh. And who's they?
Okay, Felix, believe what you want to believe.
I don't believe anything.
Of course not. You just throw things out there.
I don't believe
you throw things out there.
I don't believe
You're
either
being a
side.
sophist. No, what you do is you argue with everything that I have to say.
What I'm telling you is I don't believe either side.
Maybe you should start watching the news, okay?
I do. I watch both sides.
And you don't see any of this, right? How come I see it and you don't? How come I hear it and you don't?
What I hear is supposedly, well, maybe, and possibly, those mean nothing to me. Supposedly, you're growing hair in your head.
That would be a miracle.
Yeah. But I heard it.
I'll put that on Time Magazine.
I heard you taking the same pills that Trump is for the hair.
I can't afford his weave.
But what's happening is yours is growing on your chest instead.
No. Not going down there.
Well, that's all I have is down here. There's hair. Nothing else. And where did we go down this far down the street?
We went pretty far down this street.
Yep.
Can't get much further.
And who started it?
You.
You.
No, you.
I said you're growing hair in your chest, and you said you ain't growing any hair down there. And that's you starting it.
Well, the audience didn't hear me until you started to say something.
I said you're growing hair in your chest.
Yeah, all right.
Come on, Doc.
Yeah.
That's how rumors start. Now the next thing he's going to do is
anyway.
We're going to hear Dr. Mark is hairless.
That's true.
And Felix has got a jungle, and neither are true.
Well, I think you and I are both at the age where whatever hair we have covers up what we thought we used to have, but it's not.
It's not to tell you. There's nothing there.
Anyway, ladies, let's talk politics here.
We are. Right. We're arguing about politics.
Anyway, okay. In any event, according to Sean Spicer, possibly this weekend they're going to start interviewing candidates for replacement for Comey. Where they're going to be drawing it from, I really don't know. But look, they know what they're doing. I will say Trump made one mistake that is definitely on the record, and that is when he consulted Jeff Sessions about what to do about Comey. And part of the reason that was given as far as Comey's ouster was the emails from Clinton and all this Russia business. And Sessions recused himself from both. He said, I really can't be discussing that. But he gave him his opinion. Okay? He just shouldn't have said anything.
Well, they say that Trump made this final decision on the letter he got from
that's what he says. That's probably the only thing we can agree on right now is that Trump said that the final decision to let Comey go was his. And as the president, it would be his.
No, but and what swayed him was a letter that was sent by the assistant attorney general, who is Comey's boss,
Rod Rosenstein,
a very democratic person.
No, a very impartial person,
but he's
who was respected by both.
And he said that he didn't feel Comey was doing the right job.
Well, what I think he was alluding to was the fact that if you, meaning the president, don't think that Comey is doing his job, the job he should be doing, it's his right to fire him.
No, what he said, if you read the letter, that he did not believe he was doing his job, that he was very disappointed, his office was a mess, and that
Comey's office?
His office was a mess.
Comey's office?
Yeah.
But I got news for you. There are many people who function very well. It's called organized disorganization, because I had an assistant principal who functioned extremely well, but when you walked into her office, there were papers all over her desk.
I don't think he meant what his papers are. His investigations were sloppy. and he recommended the firing. He